the Supreme Court is hearing the Lakhimpur Kheri violence case today and has expressed its unhappiness over the manner in which the probe is going on. 8 people, including 4 farmers and a journalist, were killed on October 3rd during a farmers' protest in Lakhimpur Kheri district after being run over. 13 people, including Ashish Mishra, the prime suspect in the case, and Union Minister Ajay Mishra's son, have so far been arrested. The Supreme Court justices have said that the way the case is being probed and with 2 separate FIRs, that it seems one accused is being given undue benefits. They even said that they are inclined to appoint a former High Court judge to monitor the day-to-day probe of this entire case. Let's go across to Alok Pandey now for more. Alok, the judges spoke about 2 FIRs being filed and how, because of these 2 FIRs, one accused is getting undue benefit. If you could explain that to us.
Well, yes, while these were observations and the orders in the case perhaps will come on Friday, because as the Chief Justice said that the UP Government Council, Mr. Salve, sought time to seek instructions on the Supreme Court suggestion that they wanted to appoint a retired judge to monitor the SIT investigation in this case. But at the same time, some very pertinent and important observations being made by the Supreme Court. The most important one, perhaps, the fact that the judges feel that prima facie one accused, which would be Ashish Mishra, is being given the benefit of 2 overlapping FIRs. I think it's important to clarify for our viewers what these 2 FIRs are. So there were 2 FIRs, Garki, that were filed after the incident in Lakhimpur. I don't need to recap the incident, I think, but I'll still just briefly say that,
Sure,
what happened was that the SUVs allegedly belonging to Ashish Mishra. The alleged bit is whether he was there in it or not. They crushed farmers last month or last month, I think last month in Lakhimpur, which is the Uttar Pradesh district. So 2 FIRs were filed. One FIR was a murder FIR that was filed by the families of the farmers who died, and Ashish Mishra was the main accused in this FIR. This is FIR number 219 of Lakhimpur that was filed on the 4th of October at about 2 a.m. in the morning. Now, the second FIR in the case was filed by the opposite side, which is the BJP workers, etc., some of whom were beaten to death after the incident where these farmers were crushed. Now, this FIR was filed by a person called Sumit Jaiswal, and this Sumit Jaiswal was also later arrested. He surrendered, so to say, if I remember correctly, and he was also arrested by the SIT. But he says that it is in his FIR, he said that it is the farmers who actually threw stones at this convoy, and that caused the vehicle to go out of control, and then the driver and 2 others, etc., were dragged and beaten to death. Now, one thing that I remember very distinctly at that point was that initially there was an effort to club the death of journalist Ramana, along with those who were allegedly beaten to death by the farmers. I also have to point out that the family of Mr. Kashyap, the journalist, has maintained since day one, they maintained it in October, they maintain it today, that their kin, or the journalist Mr. Kashyap, was not beaten to death by the farmers. In fact, he was also crushed under the wheels of the SUV that allegedly belonged to Ashish Mishra and his father, the MOS home. Now, that is the confusion, or that is the overlapping that the Supreme Court is referring to, the fact that there are 2 FIRs in the case, and the SIT is investigating them simultaneously. But it does seem that, at the moment there is an effort to shield the accused in the murder FIR against the farmers, which is Ashish Mishra, while there seems to be more proactive nature of the policing when it comes to investigating the other FIR, where people have also been arrested. I think a total of 4 farmers have been arrested in the other case so far. So I think the culmination of this, as of for now, is going to be if the Supreme Court on Friday were to appoint a retired judge to oversee the investigation.
All right, Alok, thanks so much for joining us with those details. So that is what, was referred to in the case of the 2 FIRs. Let's go across to Sukirti now, also for more. And Sukirti, some, observations by the judges. They spoke about how they were not satisfied, how the investigation wasn't going in the way that they had thought it would go. And they asked for more, evidences, more forensic reports, etc. If you could just take us through that.
Well, yes, Gargi, today's hearing in this matter started off with the CJI questioning the lack of details in the status report and kind of questioning the pace of the probe. The CJI said that we had given you 10 days to file a status report, but beyond examining a few more witnesses, nothing really has been done. The lab reports have not been arrived. This is not going the way we expected it to go. Later in the hearing, things came up where the judges started questioning that there was a sort of overlapping of the FIRs. There are two FIRs in this case. For simpler understanding, one is about the murder of the farmers and the other is about the murder of the political workers in the retaliatory violence. So the judges started questioning why certain witnesses' statements were being recorded in a manner where both of these investigations were getting entangled. The judges said that when we had handed over this investigation, when we issued our instructions, we had expected that both of these probes are supposed to be carried out independently, and they seem to have this apprehension that it appeared to them prima facie at least that the main accused in the case was being given certain benefits by overlapping of these FIRs. Now the technicality of those is not known in exactly how this intermingling had been happening or what exactly was being done by the SIT, but based on whatever the judges read in the status report, one clear statement from their end is that the way the SIT is carrying out their probe, it seems that the one particular accused is being given certain benefits or the probe is being biased in nature, and as a result of that they said that in order for things to be independent in nature, for things to be unbiased, we are inclined to have a retired judge who oversees the day-to-day investigation that is being carried out regarding this issue. But they made it very clear that this judge cannot be from the UP High Courts. It has to be somebody from any other High Court except UP, so somebody from Punjab and Haryana High Court or some other High Court of the country. The UP government has been asked to come back with their suggestions on this on Friday.